my first relationship, one big thing I learned was, out of the many things, was self-love. If you're being undervalued in any situation, especially relationships, you should always leave. To give you guys an example, my first relationship, right? I used to date this girl, and we used to go on dates, and she had an older sister, right? So we would go on dates with her older sister and her older sister's man, right? So that's four of us. We all spoke English, but they also all spoke another language, right? So we would go on dates, double dates, if you will, whatever you want to call it. And then we'd all be sitting there, and they'd all be chopping it up in like that other language that they all spoke that I didn't speak, right? First thing is, I already think it's mad disrespectful to be speaking another language that like one person doesn't speak. If you're there in company with, and you guys all speak the same language, and you know there's one person that doesn't speak it, and you're speaking it actively in front of him or her, that is so disrespectful, and you're just throwing shade at that point. Second thing, right, is if that's gonna be the case, then what am I doing here? Why am I invited to this? What am I doing? Come on, I don't know. Like, I can't even add to this conversation, right? Paint a picture for you guys. Basically, it's me, my ex, her sister, and her sister's boyfriend at the time. And they're all talking this one language that I don't understand, and chopping it up, having a good time, laughing, joking, and I don't know what I'm doing here, right? And mind you, this is not out of malicious intent. They're not trying to isolate me. They're not trying to do this intentionally to like rage bait me or get me mad or anything. It's just like, it just goes to show you that's how people will act if you don't demand better for yourself. If you don't demand that you get that type of respect, or like that you're valued, then that's just how people will act. And at the time, I didn't know any better. I didn't know that like I gotta demand better for myself, and like I would just go back, and it's the same thing next time. They're chopping up another language. I don't understand what's happening. I'm just there sitting there wasting my time. Anybody watching this right now, or anybody ever in the world, is like, you should realize when you're being undervalued in a situation, and at that point, you decide how much you love yourself, right? If you are in a situation where someone's undervalued, you have two options. The first one to tolerate, and the second one to say, you know what, I'm not going to accept this. And you demand better for yourself, right? And that's called self-love. It's not selfish. It's not being selfish. It's loving yourself. And that's kind of like a really good example I can give, where it's not selfish at all, right? It's like just understanding your value and your worth, right? So that's kind of like one thing I learned in my first relationship out of many.